Hey guys, Pro here at VIP Outdoors, just waiting for the family to get down to the beach here, and we got a low tide. I was out in the ocean yesterday, lean cod fishing, bottom fishing, and with this negative tide, I decided to come out and dig some cockles and some butters, and there's some little necks out there. I'll tell you, when it comes to clam digging, I've dug razors before, but I've never done this here with cockles and butters and little necks. But it was really cool because I was able to come out and just start asking people, you know, what we're looking for, and I think that's a benefit, just to being kind and to ask questions. Like, we're all out here doing the same thing. Why wouldn't you ask a question of somebody right beside you? But anyways, everybody's out there with rakes, shovels. I came down with the bucket and found the fancy digging rock here. Yep, one of a kind. Probably gonna sell that on the website. See that? Good digging rock. So anyways, it's just kind of fun to get your hands in the mud and start digging around. You never know what you're gonna pull up. You get your hand in the hole there, and all of a sudden it feels like it's a nice clam. You pull up at the rock. So anyways, it's I'm excited to get the kiddos down here, let them get their hands dirty and have a little bit of fun. Got ourselves 3 different species of clams. Let's check them out. First of all, and probably one of the most common, this right here is a cockle. All right, with this cockle, the way we identify it is those ribs that come from here, the hinge, all the way down to the bottom. They're a darker color. Okay, just like that. Good looking little clam. With these cockles are gonna be a little chewier, a little more texture, but I don't mind that. I'm a gizzard eater, so that's a cockle. We also have a butter. This is a butter clam here. And if you notice, the ridges on this clam, and this is lighter in color obviously, but they run horizontal when you're talking about the hinge and the opening of the clam. So these are horizontal. And then last but not least, we have our little necks, which are also steamer clams, and this is a really nice sized one. So if you notice, you have a little bit of both in those steamer clams. You have the ridges that run this direction, or the patterning, but you also have those vertical hinges, or stripes, excuse me, that go from top to bottom. So we got 3 different types. When it comes to prepping clams, I kind of get them ready all the same way. Is I got my crab boiler going. I'm gonna take them, I'm gonna shock them so that shell opens up. It exposes the meat, it doesn't cook it, it just opens them up so I can harvest the meat out of the shell. So what you're gonna need, again, I got my boiler outside. This part's messy, so I like doing this part outside. Got a boiler, got my bucket, I got a bag of ice, got myself a little stainless steel bowl here, I got some scissors, and that's it. That's all you need. The water's about done boiling here. What I'm gonna do first to get this bucket ready is I'm gonna drain it and put fresh hose water, if you will, with ice in there to get it nice and cold. Okay guys, so this part's gonna be pretty dang quick. I got my pot boiling here. I'm gonna take my basket, I'm gonna load my cockles and my butters in there. Take this lid off here. And again, this is gonna be super quick. We just want those shells to open. Right on guys, so I've had them down for about 1 minute. and we got a couple different things, kind of learning along with you guys. So our cockles have opened up. Oh, that one just fell out, which that's what we want. Our bigger butter clams have not, so I'm actually going to remove the smaller cockles and dump them in this ice water, and I'm going to put that big butter back in there to make sure that he gets opened up. And really, at the end of the day, this is what we're looking for. We want them to fall out, and we want to shock them, just like so. And that first go around for those smaller cockles took 1 minute. Okay, it took 1 minute for these to open, and these are, here's my palm, about like yay. Here's how we're gonna clean it. Or clean them, I should say. All right. These are gonna be your cockles here. These little muscles on the side are what attach the shell at 4 connection points, 2 on each side, and help keep it closed. So those are ultimately like a tiny little scallop, if you will. Good, nice, fleshy meat. Those just pop out with your finger. Just work them out like that. Before you put it in there, give it a rinse off in the bucket. This is why I like using a bucket with ice water. It's a kind of a 2-in-1 when it comes to the shocking and the cleaning process. Get all the little veins off there. A nice little piece of meat. And then you go ahead and throw that in the bucket, or excuse me, into your stainless steel. Here's the other side. Pop that guy off of there. Like so, rinse it off, throw it in there. Now, here's the clammy part. All right, you have that there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut right in the middle. This is a gut bag, I call it the gut bag, see that? I cut up the middle, all the way up to this digger. Cut the bottom and the top. Just like so. Clean it off. You wanna get all that out of there. Leave yourself a nice little piece of clam meat there. Could even open that digger up all the way to the top. Take the tip off there. It's like slow. And that is how you clean your cockle clam. Put that in there. So we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of these guys. So we're gonna make a cockle and butter clam ceviche cocktail mix. When you talk about ceviche, you're talking about more of a traditional like seafood, red onions, a little bit of tomatoes, cilantro, jalapeño or serrano, lime juice. Lime juice is, we're looking for that acid to cook the protein is what we're looking for. And so that's why when I say ceviche, that's kind of what we're doing here with our clams. But we're gonna put it in more of a cocktail style presentation where we finish it off with some cucumbers, some avocado, which is avocado, some spicy V8, some Clamato, some other seasonings, and we're gonna get that rock and rolling. So first thing first, those clams, I have, again, real quick outside just to get the shells to pop, so they are raw. I'm gonna chop them up, put them in lemon or lime. Now listen, if you're watching this video and you try it, this is an uncooked seafood that you are marinating in lime. So don't go belly aching if you get a belly ache, okay? Do this at your own risk, you know what I mean? I can't believe we got to say that anymore. But nonetheless, you are consuming potentially a raw seafood. It can make you sick. I guess people even die from it. But you're an adult. Shouldn't have to say it, but we did. There you go. Anyways, enough about that. Let's talk food, the important stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my butters. Okay, I'm gonna take my butters and I'm just gonna chop all these up really, really fine. Pat them dry. Get as much moisture as you can out of there. While those paper towels are kind of doing its thing, I'm gonna get some limes ready. And every time you go through them, I feel like there's something you could always pick off and That is the nature of it. You know, you're never going to get 100% perfect, but as you go, you know, you see something you don't like, pull it off there. Kind of is what it is, right? Not the end of the world. You definitely want a nice sharp knife for this. I'll tell you, it is a chewy type meat. I do want some nice chunks of clam. You like that guy? We want to make sure we get that chopped up a little bit better. That's looking pretty good. Gonna put this into my bowl. Let's go and put our lime in there. I'm gonna do another half a lime. So a lime and a half. Push it all down in there. It's all pretty well submerged. We got both of our clams submerged in lime juice. We'll pop some lids on there. And we're going to the fridge for 24 hours. All right, stack them in there nice and neat. And again, guys, I'm not kidding. I can't say it enough. Do all the dirty stuff outside, bring it inside, kind of do all the last of the prep work in here. That way it doesn't mess up your kitchen. And when the wife comes in, she doesn't get all sorts of upset about the kitchen smelling like a bunch of, smelling like the bay. Right, let's start with the base of our cocktail. Pretty simple. We have an onion. I'm going with the red onion in this case. Jalapeño, cilantro, a little bit of lime, since we already got some lime in there, quite a bit of lime in there, in the clams that is. We got spicy V8, a little bit of Clamato. Make sure you read the expiration date on those. Speaking of not feeling good with clams. Lost 10 pounds in 2 days one time with that stuff. All right. Cholula, tapatio. Those are going to be to taste at the very, very end there. One ingredient I don't have out here is actually going to put a little ketchup in there as well. Let me grab it real quick. Ketchup. Tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes. So we're going to get chopping. I got ahead of myself. English cucumber and avocados. But these two, the avocados, the English cucumber, we're not going to put those in until tomorrow. Let's go and get chopping. Once you have your onion, your garlic, and your jalapeno, which at the very beginning, I forgot to mention garlic, but that definitely goes in there. That's when I introduced the lime and the salt. What that does is that really helps break down those ingredients and keeps them from being so sharp, especially that red onion. That real red onion by itself can be really, really sharp. So that's a good time to put some salt in there. And you can see within a matter of minutes, those onions and everything will start to break down. That's basically a pico de gallo is all that is. So I'm gonna grab a chip and I'm gonna taste it. Man, that's good. But I'll tell you what, that jalapeno is not messing around. It got some heat to it. I like it, I like it. We've had 24 hours with our clams marinating, I guess, or cooking in lime juice. So let's go ahead and get everything put together here. We have our, basically, essentially our pico de gallo that we made yesterday, and we're gonna start adding everything to it. We are making 2 batches. One of them is going to be the cockles and the other one is going to be the butters, just so we can do a side-by-side comparison to check on texture, flavor, all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is let's actually go ahead and start with our cockles. So as you can see, they're a nice light color. What I want to do is I want to strain them before I start mixing everything in. So I've drained my clams and now I got them in this little strainer here. Once I put them in that strainer, I'm actually going to push a little pressure down on there and get any of that extra juice out of there. And press them down. I can tell they've softened up a little bit. Yeah, even that muscle that holds it together is starting to break apart. I think this is gonna be great. Now we're gonna start chopping everything up. We don't want to introduce the cucumber or avocado too early because the cucumber will get too soft and the avocado will actually get mushy. Take a little bit of the skin off the English cucumber. When I think of seafood cocktails I've had in Mexican restaurants, the ones I enjoy the most are the ones that have the vegetables that are really thinly sliced. So the cucumbers, the onions, the cilantro, everything just really finely chopped into uniform sections. And I don't know why it makes it taste better, but I feel like it does. Cucumber, gonna put that aside for now. Get my avocado ready. We got our clams. I'm gonna introduce some cucumbers. Take some of our pico de gallo. Three tablespoons of that guy. Spicy V8. I'm gonna do about a 50-50 between spicy V8 and spicy Clamato. And what I want to do is just top these off to where they're both they're fully submerged. All the vegetables are fully submerged. Perfect. Tajin. Give it a nice little mix. We'll use some extra hot sauce. This is to taste, guys, but I like Cholula in mine. And last but not least, we're gonna fold in our avocado. And there we have it. We have our clam cocktail. I'm gonna set that aside for now. And I'm gonna do the same exact thing with our butter clams. And there we have it. We have our 2 clam cocktails. We have our cockles. And we have our butter clams. I'm gonna give them a taste test. Now, before I give them a taste test, at the beginning of the video, I was saying in the ingredients list, we use ketchup to sweeten it up. We generally do, but the ketchup was outdated. So we're not putting ketchup in here, but I will have a full list of the ingredients in the description. So make sure you read it. And that's a beautiful thing about cooking is you can adapt. You can make it your own. You could add, you could take away, all sorts of different things. But let's get some chips. We're gonna try this. I'm really excited. I'm gonna start with the butter clam first. I like it. So I actually, on that butter clam, I think I had one of the connective kind of mussels, scallop looking deals, and that was nice and tender. Here's another little piece. That's broken down pretty good. It's actually pretty tender. A lot of lime flavor in that. And that's why we strain it out. All right, let's move over to the cockles. I'm looking for one of the little connectors. There we go. There's one right there. So all in all, guys, that's actually pretty good. When you're talking about clams inside of a dish like ceviche, or not ceviche, I'll call this more of a cocktail, you're not gonna really have the clam flavor. And that's why I did a little bit of Clamato opposed to 100% V8, is that I wanted a little bit more clam flavor introduced to it. It's more of a textural type flavor, if you will. When you're eating this type of cocktail, it's nice to have that meaty, chewy protein to eat while you're eating this. That's kind of what makes it enjoyable for myself. But anyways, I would make this again in a heartbeat. This was actually very, very good. I'm gonna actually eat one of these right now and probably pop the other one in the fridge. But again, we'll leave the ingredients down in the description, and yeah, give it a shot, make it. So far, so good. Really, really excited about it. It was a lot of fun digging those clams. Nothing wrong getting your hands in the dirt, literally, and just enjoying the overall simple things on the coast. So hope you like it. Got any questions, put them down in the comments. You like what you're seeing, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.